Well met, fellow Star Travelers. Welcome back to Moonshadow Fantasy. I am your host, Makarios Moonshadow, aka Maka, here to bring you a guide on how to most effectively and quickly gear up your characters, catch up that item level so that you can play with your friends in endgame content. Whether you are new, old, or returning player, they've added some new things and new ways to raise that gear's average item level up. So I'm here to share all those tips and tricks with you on how I do it, how it is done, so that you don't waste any time, resources, or cash on gearing up your characters. So here we go. It all starts and ends here in Old Charlian. So as soon as you are done with story mode, head over to Old Charlian to complete a series of side quests to finish unlocking the rest of the game. That rest of the game being these three dungeons, Smileton, Dreamscape, and Legacy. You're also going to, while you're here, speak with the Wandering Minstrel and unlock your three primal extremes, Zodiarch, which is right side, Heidelin, which is 580 weapons, and of course your Endsinger extreme for your 595 weapons. Also, while you're in Old Charlian, take a walk over to the merchant up here next to the Aetheryte, and she is going to have your job-specific gear to help you get started with all of that. You'll need those weapons later to complete your relic weapon quests, but that's a separate thing. You also want to complete your or unlock your hunt trains by unlocking the hunt board and the hunt vendor down below. Unlock that because hunt trains are the second fastest and easiest way to get 600 item level gear, as well as countless materia 10s, mounts, minions, the works. Moving on, last but not least, are your last two raids to unlock. So Agalia here is your 24-man raid. You want to complete this once per week. It drops a special coin into your inventory, and it drops item level 590 gear. This is quote-unquote locked content, so you can only get one piece of gear and one coin per week for now. Whereas your Pandemonium raids, or pandas as we call them, are your 8-man raids. One boss fight is all it is. But each one of these is unlocked content, meaning you can farm the crap out of this all you want all day long and max out your character's item level to 580. This last Pandemonium, the fourth circle, drops a special item called the Unsung Blade. Let me show you what it looks like here in a chocobo bag. Boom, there it is, your Unsung Blade. You want to collect 4 of those, so you're only allowed 1 per week of these. Unlike the other gear items, which are unlimited, but you need 4 of those to unlock your 590 weapon, which can be upgraded to 600 at a later date, but not right now. So, just to recap really quickly, what you want to do is unlock these 3 dungeons, which will unlock your Expert Roulette. Do this once a day, and it will cap you out for your Tombstones of Astronomy at 450 per week. Alternatively, you can run your Hunt Train and also get up to 170 or more per run. It takes about an hour to get 170 of those. And also your Tombstones of Aphorism, which can be used to upgrade your gear to 590, and I will show you how to do that in a minute. Run your daily expert once per day. Make sure you unlock those dungeons. Second most important thing, besides just farming your Tombstones of Astronomy, is to do your Agalia raid once per week to get that coin. Other than that, crafting or buying your gear from the market board and farming these pandas are going to be another really fast way to gear up your characters. And let me show you how that's done by heading over to all the vendors in Razat Han. So now that we're in Razat Han, it's important to note that the left-hand lane is going to be where all of your gear comes from and or purchased, both past, present, and future stuff. It's all going to be located here. On the top left corner are all of your role-specific side quests. You want to complete those in order to unlock dying for the gear that we just saw in Old Charlian. Now then, it goes without saying that the vendor here on the right-hand side is your token exchange, and she is the fastest way to gear up your character to level 590 if you have some catching up to do. You can buy this gear straight from the market board or have a level 90 crafter craft it for you. However, you do not need the exact gear to trade in for the item that you're looking for. For example, when you go into exchange certificates of high quality, make sure your gear is high quality, by the way. Anything less is pointless. And I purchased a, see, where's it at? There it is. I purchased a bracelet because the bracelet was 30,000 on the market board, but I want to get a ring for my ninja, which was 97,000 on the market board. So I just bought the cheapest right side I could find, because no matter what, when I exchange it, she's going to give me a set of 7 certificates in exchange for that item level 580 gear that we don't want, because we're going to upgrade it to 590. Alright, so go over to classical at the very bottom, augmented. Your augmented gear here, this is the 590 stuff, is what you're looking for. She wants 7 certificates, we have that, and she wants 2 crucible reigns. So we're going to go into crucible reigns. This is where your tombstones of aphorism come in. We're going to buy 2 of those. And then go back to augmented classical equipment, accessories, and then I can purchase any accessory for any class that I want. But because my aim is for ninja, or dancer ninja, yep, aiming ring, there we are, this is what we want. We're going to exchange these 2. Thank you, ma'am. Go down to character, pop in our new ring, and there we go. So this is what your alt character is going to look like by the end of by the end of you farming gear. This is what an alt character should look like. It's going to have your primal extreme weapon. It's going to have a bunch of 580 gear from running your panda raids. It's going to have maybe some crafted gear at 590. It's going to have some right side, maybe from Zodiac Extreme. It's going to have a piece of gear from your Agalian raid, which is 590. And your goal for at least alts is to get your character up to 580 as quickly as you can, because 580 is what you need to run just about anything in the game. For your main character, it's going to look something like this. You're going to have your primal extreme weapon and item level 600 on the left side and the right side. Your aim is for an average item level of 590 to 600. 590 is the average item level you need to farm Endsinger Extreme, which is the last and final primal that you need in order to farm these weapons, so that all of your alts can have a nice 595 weapon. With the exception of Savage, of course. Savage content and Savage Raiders, that is a different thing. That is a different video. This is for people who are catching up for the basic stuff. Now then, let's go over the left side really quickly. So the tombstone vendor right here, she is going to have your 590 gear. This is your endgame gear for right now anyway, until new tombstones come out. Your tombstones of astronomy, it's going to get you this 590 gear, both left and right side, as well as the weapon. Now the weapon needs an extra special item. It needs a discal tombstone, which you can get from running your panda raids, which we're going to go over here in a minute. And then all these things can be upgraded by the guy next door, as long as you have the necessary item to go with it. So you give him your tombstone of astronomy gear at 590, and he's going to give you a 600 item level gear for it. Now these 3 pieces, this Robo Rant, Radiant Twine, and Radiant Coating for the right side, the only way to obtain these is by one of 3 ways. 1, running your Agalia raid once per week. This is why it's very important to get that done before Tuesdays on resets. Running hunt trains, because now the hunt vendor, in exchange for sacks of nuts, yes, I said sacks of nuts, will exchange. Also, you can buy Radiant Coating and Twine from there. And of course, Savage content. It's the only 3 ways. Moving on, let's talk to your vendor over here in the very, very middle. This gentleman at the very end, Out of This World Odysseys, is going to have your Radiant Twine and Coating, as we just talked about. And here's your Agalian coin that drops directly into your inventory after clearing that dungeon, that raid, once per week. The rest of the things that he offers for you are Hydaelyn and Endsinger weapons. If you don't get your weapon dropped, you can always spend the tokens to acquire the weapon that you need. But those primals these days also drop weapon coffers, which you can then open. So for example, I have one here. This is the Heidelin weapon, coffer at item level 580. I can open this under whatever class I want to and get that weapon for that class. So I don't need to farm any primals as a healer to get my healer weapons. Last but not least is going to be your Pandemonium raids. This is by far the cheapest and fastest way to upgrade your character's item level to 580, besides buying it on the market board. Is going to be your Unsung Relic Panda Exchange. Now when you run pandas, like we said, Panda is quote-unquote unlocked content. Panda raids drop these items here. Unsung helms, armor, gauntlets, hands, feet, legs, and accessories. No weapons except for the last panda, the circle number 4, is going to drop one of these unsung blades into your inventory after every clear for the week. And 4 of these get you that Discal Tombstone you need to buy a 590 weapon for your main character, which can be upgraded to 600 again, but at a later time. That being said, the last 3 items on this list is for all of your Savage content runners and farmers. If you're running Savage content, you probably don't need this video at all whatsoever, but just so that you are aware, this is where this stuff comes from. Savage drops these books. You exchange the books for item level 600 gear straight up, and it's also where you get this radiant, these 3 radiant items to upgrade your tombstone gear to 600 on top of that. So your Unsung Relic Exchange, this one right here, really easy to farm that. I farm that on the side, and I have, for all my characters that are at least 590, that have made it to 590, their average item level is 580 or above. It stops here at Ninja at number 9, and then just goes up from there. Pretty soon, once I farm a little bit more of my hunt trains, I'm going to have my 3 mains, my magic classes all at 600, and then 585 for my tank. So let's go check out the tank, because the tank is a good way to express to you how to divvy up this gear. So your Tombstones of Astronomy all go to your main character, right? But because you're only allowed 450 a week, you're kind of limited to how fast you can upgrade your alts gear. That being said, because if you farm your Endsinger Extreme Primal, which I highly recommend doing that all the time, you will have dozens of these weapons, 595 weapons for all of your alts, and then some. So you don't have to worry about weapons. Your right side is going to be filled with, or she's filled, along with everybody else, is filled with 580 gear, 590 chest piece from farming Agalia once per week. She already has a chest, she already has legs. I do recommend that you go for the chest and the legs first when farming Agalia for your alts, because these are the most expensive things in exchange for tomes, and that just raises your item level even faster. I also have a piece of 590 gear that I bought from the market board, just so I can test out for a video. I typically don't buy gear from the market board because it's free, you just have to go farm it. However, now that I'm done buying tomes of astronomy gear for my main character, I can now start bleeding my astronomy tokens into my second favorite class, which is the tanks, and then it'll go to healers, and then it'll go to melees, and so on and so forth. So you want to organize your alts in such a way so that you know where your gear is going to go, and when each weekly reset hits, you know who needs to go in there and get a piece of gear. All right. So the first week I got my main chest piece from Agalia just because, then I got my tank, then my healer, then my Reaper, then my Ninja, and so on and so forth. So that's it. That's how that works. Those are the things that you want to do and focus on. Again, the fastest ways: farming your panda, farm those tombstones via hunt train or daily expert roulette, clear and farm as many Heidelin and or Endsinger Extreme Primals as you possibly can. Join our Discord if you want to join us for that. We do them all the time. And yeah, that's pretty much it besides Savage. I wish you the best of luck in RNG. I hope you found this video helpful and you are able to get your characters all geared up as quickly as you possibly can. My name is Maka, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe. It greatly helps our channel grow, and I will see you on the next one. Maka is out.